Hi, welcome to my video on the Zeadio Flexible Mini Tripod. Now I bought this off Amazon for $15.99 in the UK. Now this is a compact tripod with an integrated metal bore head mount. This mini tripod is suitable from your mirrorless camera to your action camera to your mobile phone, in which you do get a mobile phone clamp. Now when you do get the Zeadio Mini Tripod, it comes in a bag, and what you get is the tripod itself and you get a phone clamp. This is how the Zeadio Mini Tripod looks. Now from the top of the tripod to the bottom is 5.1 inches in length, and it has a weight of 90 grams. I'll start at the top and work to the bottom. At the top here we have a metal 1/4 inch screw thread. Now it states on the Amazon site that the bore head is made out of metal, but in fact only the thread and the main part of the bore head, the stem of the bore head, is made out of metal. The rest, the actual mount of the bore head, is made out of plastic. The screw thread for the adjustment knob of the bore head is obviously made out of plastic. Next we have the platform here. Now this is an adjustment platform and that is made out of plastic. We have the adjustment screw or knob, if you want to call it. Now that is made out of plastic, and as you can see it has these kind of perforations done in the turning screw itself. So we get a bit of grip there, and it's quite a big thick turning knob or screw, if you want to call it. It has on there, and that is, as I said, made out of plastic. And now we come to the legs. Now it has a 3-leg design, and the legs double up as a handle as well. And it has this kind of, it's hard to pick up on the video folks, but it has this kind of wood teak effect on there, I would say, as a grip. But there is no rubber on there, so even though it has these sections cut out in the leg that give the impression like they are strips of rubber that are on each leg, it isn't. It's still made out of the same plastic. We come to the stem of the Zeadio Mini, and what we have here is an aluminium stem, and I like what Zeadio has done with this stem. It has 3 sections to it, and for every section there is a black plastic collar, which is the same color as the stem itself, which is a matte black. So it's finished in a matte black finish, which is good. We have a seam running down the front here or at the side, and a seam running from down at the other side, and this is to give it strength. When you extend it, you can see more of this kind of red ring, which is a rubber, which is unusual because it doesn't really do nothing much whatsoever, and I would have thought this would have been placed on the bottom of the plastic ball head, but it isn't. Fully extended, the actual length is now 10.1 inches, but I don't go by that when it comes to these selfie stick tripods, because the true measurement of the extension is when you take out the bottom of the mount, which holds your camera, and the top of the legs, which doubles up as a handle because you lose those inches off there. Between these 2 points, it is 4.5 inches that it extends out to. As stated before, the legs do double up as a handle for this selfie stick tripod. And when you extend out the legs, we have this nice kind of diamond shaped pattern on each leg, which gives this a strength, gives it really good strength. But it is one of these mini tripod selfie sticks or 3-in-1s that the center section column is down, so you can't have this out and hope to not have the bottoms, so you can't just have it on to raise its footprint out even more, to get as low as possible, because the bottom stem section does come in the way, but you can lift that up. Very ends of the legs, we have these rubber pads on there. Now, which seems funny that they put rubber pads on the ends of the legs, but no rubber whatsoever on the handles, which I think is a bit odd. This is how the Zeadio Mini looks when the legs are fully extended out and it's sitting on either a desktop or on the ground. This is how it looks. One thing I have to say about this selfie stick or stroke mini tripod is I love how low it sits to the ground and how spread out the legs are. I have to say, for a mini tripod, this is one of the best mini tripods I've come across, where the legs actually sit almost flush to the ground or on this desk, as you can see. And if I turn this that way, literally it's probably just over a centimetre, which is less than half an inch off the ground when the main stem is fully extended. So that is really, really good for such a for a tripod selfie stick. That's for the grip of the legs on this tabletop. The rubber pads, what they placed on there, which has a bit of a grip on there anyway, this kind of mesh pattern on there, gives it such a good grip on this tabletop. Just before I go on to my thoughts on the Zeadio mini tripod, or selfie stick if you want to call it, I did state to you that it comes with a phone clamp, so you get a phone clamp with it. Now the phone clamp itself is made out of plastic. It's a plastic phone clamp, and it's one of these generic phone clamps that you could probably buy off eBay or Amazon for about £3. It's nothing really special. It's all body plastic construction. That's what it's made out of. We have rubber at the top of the clamp and rubber at the bottom of the clamp, as you can see, with this kind of gripping on there. I'll try and get it in focus, folks, there, with this kind of grip on there on either side of the clamp, and a standard foam back. Now I have to say, when I took this out the packet that it come in on the bag, this foam padding was coming off, so be aware of that. It's not stuck down or fastened down that tight. It could be just this one. You do have a 1/4 inch screw thread on the bottom of the clamp, and you have a 1/4 inch screw thread on the back of the clamp. So if you want to attach another clamp there or a light, you can place one there. Now it is a spring loaded adjustable clamp, so as you can see, it's got a very squeaky spring to it. So as I said, this is very cheap. So if you're going to buy the Zeadio Mini, I'd try and update the clamp. Get yourself a better clamp than this. Here's my thoughts on the Zeadio Flexible Mini Tripod. Now, first things first, I got to address is the flexible. It's not one of these bendies, which is a kind of misleading, which they put on the Amazon site, because it's not got these bendy legs, so it's not flexible in that way. I think what they're really supposed to say, it's a 3-in-1 tripod. That's what they're supposed to really put. So that's that out the way. Now, to me, I think for $15.95, I think it is, on Amazon UK, this is not a bad buy. And the GoPro SHORTY. Now, over the GoPro SHORTY, I would definitely put this in front. One, it costs less than the GoPro SHORTY if you was to buy it new. So if you was to buy the GoPro SHORTY new, this costs far less than the GoPro SHORTY. I do like that it has a nice ball head on there, rather than I think the GoPro SHORTY, it's fixed in a position. So that's one thing I do like with this. It is a bit misleading that they said that the ball head itself, which I expect to include the body of the ball head, to be metal when it isn't. It's plastic. Only the shaft itself and the ball within inside the ball head and the screw thread is metal, so be aware of that. I do like this large kind of thumb screw they give you here, or adjustment screw here. I do like that because even with gloves on you can still make an adjustment with this mini tripod, so I do like that. I do like how the bottom of the feet stay as well, the bottom of the legs, how they got this nice textured rubber on the bottom of each and every leg. And the price of this is not too bad. Now in the hand, does it feel cheap? I would say this sits on the fence. It is made out of ABS black plastic and it does kind of feel so-so. It doesn't feel cheap, I'd give it that. It just feels so-so. So this sits on the fence between cheap and expensive. This sits on the fence. But as I stated before, I would go for this over the GoPro SHORTY, which in my hand when I bought it felt cheap. When I reviewed it, bought it, reviewed it, it just felt cheap. Did not feel that it was worth the price that it was selling. And the last thing, before I just quickly delve in on the negative side a bit, is I love how low this sits to the ground. I love the actual spread of the legs, and it has a decent size footprint when it's spread out. So taking this outside, placing it on the ground, no worries, it sits quite low, and this is really good as a tabletop tripod as well. Quickly run through the negatives of this, and I'm going to be short on the negatives because I don't want this to be a long video. The biggest negative with the Zeadio, I won't say flexible mini tripod, right, is that, as you can see and as I stated, the legs stroke handle do not have any rubber on them. Instead, they got this kind of teak effect, wood-like kind of etching into the legs, which to me doesn't give it that much grip. Gives it a bit more grip than the GoPro SHORTY, which has none on it whatsoever. But this would have been suitable if they placed rubber on there, and this would have made this a-okay as a vlogging tripod. It would have been really, really good. And I think that's what lets this down. That's all what lets this down, is because it's got no rubber on the actual handle stroke legs, only on the bottom part. So that's what lets it down. And also the body of the ball head should have been in metal as well. That's the only two things I can see what lets this down, but I'd still put this in front of the GoPro SHORTY. Thanks for watching the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I perfectly understand my videos can be long, but I like to go into detail on the item or the product, so when you get it, you know what to expect. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the channel. I'll be grateful for that, and I'll see you next time.